So many people get stuck or confused when they come to prepare for their first fright. In this video, I've prepared you on some of the things that you're supposed to avoid, especially when you're preparing for the first fright. And people even sometimes get into the problem, get in troubles because maybe they did find someone to tell them, do this, avoid this, especially for the beginners. There are those people who have used up to airlines, and maybe they have not made a video on what to do and to avoid, especially when you are preparing for the beginners or you are preparing to go abroad for the first time. And mainly when you get up to these things, you'll be used up to these things and you'll be learning some of the things. But in this case, allow me to explain for those people who are preparing for the first time. Now, I've just 10 points to share with you, and I've just written them here. So sometimes you might see me peeping, and maybe because the points is too long, but I have to explain one by one. But because I did a research on this, and it is very much helpful. Number one, what you're supposed to do is to choose your airline wisely. Choose your airline wisely always. In this case, it's very much benefit to choose your airline wisely. Why? Because there are other airlines which have bad services. They have bad services, and by the way, by the end of this travel or on the journey, so when you realize that this airline is not fit, although as a beginner you don't have to, you might not even realize the mistake at the first time, because maybe you might see maybe the services is enough for you, but when you get to 2 or 3 airlines or different airlines, you realize that they have different services. So choosing your airline is very much important. I know not all airlines comes to your home country, but when you do this, you can learn on the best airlines that have the best services, although sometimes also depends with the place, or they have different places when it comes to booking. Now, choose your airlines wisely. Number two, read your ticket clearly. If you have already prepared yourself, you have got a visa, you have buy a ticket, read your ticket wisely. Why? Because you find some people, they waste or they leave their luggages behind, because you book an airline and maybe in every ticket it has the kilograms that you're supposed to carry. So you don't have to carry everything in your home or in your bag. You have to know some of the things that you're supposed to carry in your bag. Yeah. So when you read a ticket very clearly, you will able to understand the how many kilograms are you supposed to carry, what kind of bag are you supposed to have, yeah. In this case, the airlines also depends. There are different airlines depends. The more you buy the cheaper airlines, the more you will get low or few kilograms to carry. The more you book expensive airlines, also you will have more luggages to carry. But in this case, if maybe you have an extra, you can pay for them for the luggages. Although sometimes it might be expensive and might be out of your budget. So it's good to read your ticket very clearly, not just because of the kilograms, but because of the time. Yeah, know the time that you're supposed to board your airline. Know the time that you're supposed to have your flight. Especially if you are also connecting to 2 or 3 airlines, also read your ticket very carefully so that you can able to catch up with the next airlines if you have reached for the first destination. Number 3 is avoid to carry closed luggages for your friends. There are those friends who tell you, oh, carry for me these luggages, especially for those people who maybe they are telling you you are going back for a vacation, just carry for me these luggages. Why? Sometimes people do mistakes and they put drug abuse there, and when it comes to the scanning, or maybe when it comes to checking, the security finds you with those luggages and you find yourself in trouble. So many people have been jailed because of trying to be good to their friends. Yeah. So be very careful when you're carrying a luggage of your friends or of your family friends when it is closed. If you have to carry, then you have to open it very carefully, check it clearly, and ensure that none of the prohibited drugs or any prohibited items that is there. Because in case of anything, not your afraid to be questioned. It's all about you. So be very wise. And so many people have got in trouble. So many people have taken back to their home country. So many people have been jailed, and people have been even gets a lot of challenges in this. So be very careful, especially when your friend said you will carry for me or come with me, get some, be given a certain luggage, come with it, carry for me, all those things. So avoid very careful. Number four, is to, if you have a fragile things, for example, if you have a laptop or all those things, know where to carry and not to pack them in the big carriage, especially in the big bags. Yeah. If you have fragile things, avoid keeping them in the bags, big bags where you, those bags that will be packed under the, or under the planes. Yeah, so be very careful when you are carrying fragile things. Don't pack fragile things with other things. Why? Because those luggages, they move over long belt, and sometimes they end up uh, uh, you can find that they may be handled the directions clearly, especially for the beginner. You have landed in a new country, you have landed in a new airport, and sometimes you find that some of the countries, they have a developed airport. So you find that if you don't lead very careful the directions, yeah, the direction that will be told, turn right, turn left, must be very careful when leading these things, especially if you are the first time and you're trying to connect one airline with the other. You find that maybe some of the airports are much developed, so you need to read the directions very careful. But in case you get stuck, you can ask a security, you can ask your someone to assist you, and absolutely by the end of the day, you not waste a lot of time in this. You not be returned back and like people will see like you don't know where you are heading. So you can avoid this, especially for the first time. There are those people who have used up to use maybe one route. And if you have used to one route, I find sometimes you mark a place. Yeah. Although you find sometimes if it's a developed country or developing the developed airport, you find that they keep on changing things. But it's good to read the directions very carefully to be helpful for you. And number seven is not about don't panic. You know, sometimes people panic and get confused completely. Yeah, not because they don't know how to read it, not because they don't know how to understand it, but because they get tension on this. Yeah, and you find that even some people, they can realize it's the first time you are boarding a plane, it's the first time you are being here. So don't panic, just relax and take your time very carefully. Number three is it's good to carry a heavy clothes. It's good to carry a heavy clothes, like a jumper, in case, because we normally say the higher you go, the cooler it becomes. Sometimes you might fly over long high degrees Celsius, and you find that sometimes the temperature might change, and you find that it's very cold, and maybe you have packed your sweater under in the on the big bag that is packed on the other luggages, and you cannot reach it. So it's good to carry a sweater, yeah, especially a jumper or something like that, in case the weather change, you are there, you're not stuck. Although sometimes the airlines, they give you a small blankets, might not be enough for you. Yeah, not all airlines provide for this, but it's good to have a jumper or a warm cloth for yourself. Just be prepared. It's good to prepare yourself. Number three is to ensure you can laminate your bag. If you have a very big bag, you can laminate them with a polythene bag, or yeah, there's that bag that is used to laminate. Why? This one make it not easy for breakup, or uh, it helps your luggage to be intact. You find that sometimes there are those, they might mishandle your bags, and you find that your bag, maybe it broke a leg, or it broke a wheel, and you find yourself in a trouble of rolling the bag, maybe it's very heavy. So we normally say that it's good to wrap your paper or laminate your bag with a paper or a polythene bag, so it will be easy for you. It will be intact. It will not be damaged. And this one will be very much helpful. This one, you might find that services in the airport, and they normally charge. They will not do it for free. So if you see them, they tell you, can we laminate? Can we wrap your bag? If they tell you we wrap your bag, let me use the word wrap. If they tell you they wrap your bag, know that they will charge. It's good to ask, but I'm sure you can also, if you have, you can afford such a service, it's good. You can wrap it, and your bag will be on a safe. And also, people wrap it because, maybe there are those people who say that people can try to put other prohibited items in your bag. They can open and put it. Although those are rare cases. But it's when you laminate, it will be hard for them to open up. They cannot have all that time to open up. But in this case, it will also be good for you. Last one is enjoy your flight. Nothing else, is enjoy your flight and have a plan for this. I know you have a plan for this. Maybe you don't have a plan for this in the but in the future you are planning to have one. Yes, When you book one, then enjoy for it. Have fun. Yeah. Ask all the services that are being provided there, and you enjoy your flight fully without any stress. Thank you for watching this MC Wamaj. If it's the first time to watch this video, please consider subscribing and sharing as much as it is. Thank you, and see you in the next video.